Coming up, 4 unrelated homicides in just over 13 hours. We're recapping the killing spree.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, Digicel executives confirming their interest in entering the Bahamian telecommunications market. We've got the details, so stay tuned.
An accused murderer hauled before the court. We've got the details straight ahead.
And in sports news, we head to the Summer of Thunder. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now, live.
Now in HD. Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
In just 13 hours, starting at 9 o'clock last night, 4 people were shot dead by gunmen in a weekend which saw 13 shootings and marked an end to an 8-day lull in murders. Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles.
I'm Kish Latterly. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, detectives were summoned from murder scene to murder scene. The latest this morning in Pinewood Gardens, claiming the life of a Numbers House employee pursued by robbers. Arkland Watson has details on each case as police launch a familiar appeal.
My baby! My baby!
His mother's pain is evident in her mournful groans and cries. 23-year-old Brandon Russell Jr. was gunned down outside of a friend's home in the Chippenham community Sunday around 8 p.m. Brandon and another young man were outside of the home when a vehicle with at least 3 men pulled up and opened fire, hitting Russell. Russell died on the scene. Superintendent Paul Rowe from the Central Detective Unit says the matter was domestic related.
It's not retaliatory. We have nothing to suggest that. And nothing to suggest robbery or the other. So it means that they believe that the person may have been known.
The second male was unharmed. He is assisting police with investigations. Brandon Russell Sr. says his wife, Ida Mae, had just prepared tea and baked goods to console another family who was grieving, not knowing that hours later they would experience such grief.
His mommy always asks him, Brandon, be safe when you're going out there, please, you know.
Were you concerned that this kind of thing could have happened to you?
Yes, sir. I think about it all the time.
Yes, Jesus.
What does a mother feel when you hear that kind of news?
Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I don't know what to say, Lord. I don't know what to say. It's just pain. Just pain. It's heart-wrenching, Jesus.
Hours after this incident, around 2:30 a.m., police were called to another scene on Blue Hill Road, opposite Town Center Mall. Police say gunmen pulled up behind a man and a woman on a dirt bike and opened fire, hitting the woman to the back of the head. Roll says the woman fell to the ground and was rolled over by the vehicle. The motorcycle crashed into the guardrail in the road. Robbery appeared to be the motive, as the culprits took the motorbike. The male was unharmed.
Officers acting on information went to a residence in the Yellow Elder area where they took a young man and a woman into custody, and also were able to collect a motorcycle and a Tita type vehicle.
Then around 3:30 a.m., police were called to the Cordo Avenue area after gunshots rang out. When they arrived at a nightclub, a male and female were suffering from gunshots. Police say 2 men were reportedly in an argument. One of them left and returned to the club but was denied access. That's when he reportedly opened fire, shooting a man in the hand and stomach, and then shooting the woman who owned the club in her chest. Both were taken to hospital, but the woman died around 5:30 this morning. Police also had to beef up security at PMH following this incident.
A number of persons went into the hospital and rushed the persons at accident emergency section and disrupting them from performing their duties. And we had to dispatch a large team of officers to the hospital to provide coverage for the authorities there and to bring calm to that situation.
Then shortly before 9 this morning, another man was found dead, this time at the intersection of Sapodilla Drive and Willow Tree Avenue near Mount Tabor Church. Here's what police believe happened. Gunmen sprayed his Honda Civic with bullets to get Prince Prudence, who works for Shorewind Web Shop, to stop, and that sent the car crashing into a residence wall. Prudence is believed to have had a money bag from one of the web shop branches. Police then believe the gunman reached into the car and pulled out a box that contained personal items, but not the cash. A separate car, which was following him as security, tried to fend off the attack by returning fire, but it's not clear if any of the culprits were hit.
What it speaks to is the level, I think, of disrespect for life and disrespect for one another, and disrespect and disregard, really, for the established institutions which we have in this country, where civilized people will go and try and resolve disputes. I continue to appeal to persons to use those systems. You know, the police are here, we want to help, and we do everything possible to help, and appeal to them to put down the guns and let us resolve these disputes in a sensible and humane way.
There was some 12 new cases, 4 inclusive of murders on police books. They say they're still not stretched with resources. Thankfully, they're partnering with other agencies throughout the Royal Bahamas Police Force to ensure they can handle these matters. Now, of course, if you have any information in any one of these matters that can assist police, they want you to call them at 911-919 or crime tipsters at 328-TIPS anonymously. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Police have charged a 27-year-old man in connection with the shooting death of Jermaine Russell 3 weeks ago. Our Fern Carey was in court today for the arraignment.
37-year-old Union Village resident Mark Augustine, wearing the yellow T-shirt, is facing a murder charge in the shooting death of Pinewood Gardens resident Jermaine Russell, also known as Timer. 33-year-old Russell was reportedly walking to his car from a nightclub in the Wolf Road area during the early morning hours when he was shot multiple times to the body. He later died in hospital. During today's proceedings, Augustine was formally charged before Magistrate Sabu Swain. Augustine is accused of intentionally and unlawfully causing the death of Jermaine Russell, also known as Timer, back in July. Augustine was not required to enter a plea to the murder charge. The case will be fast-tracked to Supreme Court by voluntary bill of indictment, which means a preliminary hearing will not take place. Now, because murder is not bailable in the magistrate court, Augustine was remanded to prison. However, he can apply to the Supreme Court for bail. The case has been adjourned to October 14th. Vern Carey, ZNS Network News.
A crime scene investigator among the witnesses testifying in the John Dewar murder trial today. He's accused of killing his stepfather, Alice Santilama, on Hatchet Bay, Eleuthera back in 2011. During today's proceedings, the officer testified that he took photos of the victim's home, which he said was ransacked. He also indicated that he took photos of the crime scene where Santilama's partly decomposed body was discovered inside a barrel in January of 2011. Prosecutors contend that robbery was the motive for the murder. Justice Vera Watkins is presiding over the case.
In other news, the Privy Council ruled Arawak Homes the lawful owners of several lots in Sir Lyndon Pinling Estates last month, leaving several residents in debt to the company. Several residents of the area have mortgages with the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation, though it's not clear if any of them are affected by the ruling. LaDon Davis sat down with executives of the BMC on the issue and tells us what the corporation plans on doing to assist those who may be affected.
Chairman of the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation, Alex Storr, says almost 60 residents from the Sir Lyndon Pinling Estate subdivision have secured mortgages from the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation. Storr says those residents affected by the recent court ruling will receive the necessary assistance only if they are current.
As to how many are directly affected by this judgment, we couldn't give a number on that, as nobody has contacted us. None of our customers have contacted us. But should they need extra financing and they contact us, those customers that are in good standing, and I emphasize good standing, can come in and we can see how we can best accommodate them, whether it be a further charge and extending the length of their loan. But this is one of the reasons why it's important to always be in good standing with the financial institution, because there are going to be those that are out there that are in arrears, that haven't been paying their mortgages, and they're going to be hard pressed to find out.
Terrence Hanna did not want to point fingers in this matter. He did say that BMC has at least 50 credible attorneys to recommend to homeowners. Additionally, he says potential homeowners also have the option of seeking out private counsel before committing to such a big investment.
We have our own in-house attorney who vets every document that comes in. And so with that reliance, we recognize that from time to time, and this is a good example, this problem in St. Linden just did not occur. It was years in the making. And so because of that, we have also taken our steps with our in-house attorney to vet every document to ensure, to give us that extra level of comfort, that extra level of security that our titles are in fact good when we book a mortgage.
Additionally, Storr could not say how many homeowners in the Linden Pinling estates were delinquent, but for the overall portfolio, there are at least 1,200 persons in delinquent arrears. Now, officials from Arawak Homes say they are giving residents in the area roughly 12 months to sort out their property titles. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Well, still to come tonight, what would a new competitor mean in the telecommunications sector? Find out.
And later on in sports, more highlights from the Summer of Thunder. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight live.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Shell Quality Fuels.